Well, apparently I did not do things exactly how I thought we were going to here. We are all just out here tonight. I I did not hide us. We did not. Well, you know what? I'm just gonna do just because because I already screwed this up tonight. Here, here we go. We'll just
And you're frozen, Chey.
great, fantastic.
You look like there. Now you're slowly moving.
It's this. I guess this is just how we're gonna start Saturday night. So
Nice.
well, obviously, I have already screwed up the night, ladies and gentlemen. But we're here. We're here, and I'm thankful that I have my glass of wine tonight because this was, I'm taking over, and apparently, me taking over doesn't exactly do the best. But when certain people decide that they want to go do other things and not be here, then that's stuff happens. So Wendell decided to take them out into the middle of the woods, and we have not heard from them since earlier in the week. So who knows where they are? We never know. They might be alive, they might be not. Who knows? But anyway, as a weird turn of events of how things typically are on a Saturday night, Glenn is usually here surrounded by beautiful women. Here I am tonight, a beautiful woman surrounded by handsome men. So we have Andy back as always. And yes, Guillermo, Glenn most likely is in jail for the weekend. And as a special guest, we have Logan here. How are you gentlemen this evening? Don't all talk at once.
So far, so good.
I can't complain other than it is cold.
Yes.
Yeah, it is we are all in the same little general area here. Logan and I are in West Virginia, and Andy is in Maryland. So we are all in the teen digits of the weather. I know we had to have gotten at least 5 inches here. How much do you think you guys got, Andy?
We got enough to basically not even an inch, enough to make everything white.
Fantastic. Yeah, we
had
got
snow on top of it.
Yeah, we got all of it. And it was enough to make you mad. Like I was really irritated. I mean, granted, today's the 4th. On New Year's Eve, I had run out to the store. I was in a pair of PJ Capris and my sandals. I had the air on. And then when I had to go to work the next day, I had to turn the heat back on. I'm like, this is ridiculous. It's no wonder my sinuses are constantly messed up. Oh, hold on just a second. Hold on, Harley. Let me get over to you again, my dear. So we are going to get into, since this is first Misfits of 2025, figured we would send that to her again. Figured that we would do a little dip back into 2024 of some of our favorite, not so favorite trends of the year. So while we are waiting for Harley, Logan, do you want to start us out?
Sure. Probably this one kind of happened towards the end of the year, but definitely the Pepe the King Prawn meme where everyone's like sharing embarrassing life stories that happened to them, all
Yeah.
over on a prayer. Yeah, those memes just have a
Yeah.
special place in my heart.
And I feel like it only got better when they started dressing him like 90s rock. He's running around in a little black
Turtleneck and the
a
little
little
gold
black
chain.
turtleneck with his little chain. The only thing that would have made it better would be if he had a fanny pack to go along with that picture. And yes, Wendell, I did get the picture. Everyone else in it looked fantastic. So I found it very interesting of some things that I was looking at today. Apparently this year they decided to start trying to rebrand pleather. So they are rebranding like pleather pants, pleather anything as vegan leather. And they have done it successfully. So now they can mark the prices up however much because it's not just pleather, it's vegan leather. So that's fine. And what else do you have for us, Logan?
Uh, pr- I mean, just one of the other big trends I noticed over the year was more and more people want to go see really, really bad movies and try to enjoy them.
Could you
Like a
give a good
local
example
library
of
in my
that?
area. So, a local library in my area is starting a bad movie club where they do. Have you guys ever seen Mystery Science Theater 3000?
Yeah, but that's not bad.
They're doing it with bad movies. One of the
So they're
movies they
trying
did
to
it with was what
they're trying to make their own Mystery Science?
with bad movies.
Okay. What is
The
their
most
definition
the
of a
most
bad movie?
I'll give you an example. The most recent movie they did was Velocipaster on Amazon Prime.
Okay. Hi, Greg.
And for
We
those of you
miss
who
you, and we hope that your premiere went fantastic. So, Velocipaster, okay.
I've seen this movie once in my life and I thought it was a fever dream. Think someone gets the ability to turn into a werewolf. They turn into a velociraptor instead, and it was a man of the cloth who got bit.
I would spend an hour on that. I don't know as I would do it in the library, but
It was an hour and a half long, and honestly, I laughed. The movie was, I wouldn't say it was poorly made, but I laughed really, really hard.
so I have a thing like I absolutely hate those kind of bad movies, but like they're bad. But to me, what makes it even better is when they're self-aware, more than likely if they were of making that, they're self-aware that it's really bad. And the production value isn't terrible, but it's just they they know what they're working with. So they go with that. I can really appreciate that as a movie. And look who else we have here.
Hello.
Hello, Miss Harley. How are you?
I am wonderful.
It's so lovely to have another lady here. So we are getting down to the trends of 2024. Either craziest things that happened, best, worst, weirdest, whatever. And apparently a local library in Logan's area has started their own mystery science club. So glad to see they're trying to get the kids off the streets and do something more productive. I said, I
So
do that. I don't know if I'd do it in a library, but
for context, it's an adults only club, so it's not meant for kids. It's all like
okay.
adults gathering and making fun of a movie together.
Okay. I can appreciate that. Like, is it at least like after hours too?
See, like the library closes like 8 or 9, so they do it about 7:30, 8 o'clock.
Okay. I say, because I'm sorry, I can't be that quiet in a library if we're watching terrible movies here.
It's a Miyoki. It's on Amazon for $15. And it doesn't leak at all.
Very nice. And so another, and whenever I was going through these, the initial things that I was looking at were like kind of like fashion-y trends for the year. It made me feel really old because I'm like, oh, this is all the kids. All the kids are doing this. They're going back to the 90s and wearing their white crew socks over their leggings and their sweats, and it just makes me angry. Wear your socks like normal, you little crap heads. Just wear them like normal. And then they, we couldn't just have left the year with of haircuts. We couldn't have just left the mullets and the pedo mustaches. We had to go into now, I guess, what the internet has dubbed the broccoli cut. So I don't know if this is specifically kids who have curly hair, or if these are, they're going out actively getting perms and then buzzing down the sides, so they like have like a weird little fro on top.
Wow.
I can't. And then I guess 80s mustaches in a hole are coming back. I would appreciate if the local cops in my area would get off again and grow a normal mustache. I would really appreciate that. And the another thing that I saw is like what they want to consider hoodies, but like they only cover your arms. They're like cropped up to like they don't cover anything. Their sleeves, you're paying $60 for a pair of sleeves. Okay, that's cool.
Makes no sense, but okay.
Or cropped. Can we cropped everything in 2024? I mean, I do appreciate a good crop top, but I was also reading a story that an individual had that like, I'm just go to the store and buy like a regular tee to wear for work. I can't even go to the women's section because they're all freaking cropped. Like, we
Hey,
we can
I'm
keep
just
a
not getting
handful.
small enough to where I feel comfortable to wear a crop top.
Preach. But
See,
we
one of
need
the
other options. Give them crop tops. They can have them for a while. 25 man crop tops. Telling you.
I'll pass.
No, you and Andy get the crop tops. Chris, I will
One
cut
trend I
you.
saw with men over the summer.
What is the
Jorts are coming back, and Jean Code jeans are coming back.
Wow.
I'm not
Like
entirely
over the
mad
summer, I
about
can't
the
say
Jean Co, but like
I'm
I
not
feel like
either. But I was just like,
the only acceptable thing to me anymore is if you're like, okay, so if we're talking about jorts, how long are we talking? How long are they?
Oh, we're talking like prime Fred Durst jorts where they like come down below the calf, like dragging the ground, right up like capris.
That's how I wear all
Capri
my
length
shorts
shorts.
anyways, because I'm like 4'9".
So you could just buy a pair of shorts and you're good for a pair of pants.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
I feel like the only real acceptable, like, you only got like one of two options here. If you're gonna wear jorts, they've got to be normal length, knee length jean shorts, and I feel like that's acceptable for like a middle-aged dad. Or if you're gonna go full, like, say, mid calf, that's only acceptable if you are John Cena. Just my opinion.
No, if you're rocking those ones, you have to have like the knee pads on.
But then you've got to have the acceptable shoes. Your underwear have got to be sticking up out of them a little bit. You've got to have the sweatbands and everything. You've just got to be ready. But and again, it just made me feel so old because, like, I'm like, okay, well, there were, I'm very much on TikTok trying to figure out what the heck these TikTok dances were. I'm like, nope, no idea. I could gather that January apparently "Give Me More" by Britney Spears came a big comeback, and then Cowboy Carter was really big in February. But after that, I was just like, nope, no idea. I've absolutely no idea. But it was a
Another
big year
trend I
for.
noticed.
Go for it.
So another trend I really noticed, 80s music is making a huge comeback.
It's about time.
Like
Well, you
Duran
have to
Duran,
specify it's
Invisible.
it's making a big comeback with the younger folk.
Yes, like Duran Duran's Invisible was going absolutely nuts on TikTok for like 2 months, all because of a popular video game called Helldivers.
Well,
People were
that
posting edits of it.
a lot of 80s music did start coming back with Stranger Things. Like the younger kids were all like, "Oh, this is a new song." And I'm like, "No, that's originally from the 80s. You're just now hearing about it because of a TV show."
I hate to say it, with as much as I grew up with 90s music and everything, 80s, 70s, 80s, and 90s, Stranger Things, for the whatever season it was that came out, was my first time hearing about Kate Bush, and I was like, where's this been all my life? I mean, I know I got all of the good stuff growing up, but where was this? That that is a very, very fair point. You do not know what John Cena is wearing because you can't see him. It's
Didn't he go
all
out
right.
on stage in one of like the award shows with like basically a towel over his junk? And it really was just a towel over his junk.
So yeah, it was at the Oscars.
When
He
was
like
this?
showed up
In
back in whenever the Oscar at the
a
Oscars, like
couple years ago
March,
he did
April.
it.
No, it was this year.
Oh yeah. And he
Because
like just had
I
the
saw the
rag over his junk and that was it.
I saw the clip. He like pokes his head out and like was talking to the host, and he comes up holding an envelope. Yeah, that's all he had on the entire time.
All right. I mean,
Gonna have to look it up.
yeah, so I'm kind of like,
Yeah.
What movie was this for?
It was just for the
No,
Oscars. Like he
no,
walked out on the
He was
stage
just a
with
guest.
was he presenting the award or?
no, just went on the stage holding the envelope
No,
over his.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I can. That's a. I feel like that's a very John Cena thing to do.
Yes.
And can we talk about John Cena's big comeback for 2024? He's been doing a lot. Last couple
Mhm.
years, very proud of him. And I could just be saying that because I'm just now finally coming around to seeing Peacemaker, but proud of him.
Wow.
Yes.
A Illinois one person started their 2025 off by winning $10 million. Wish I was one who won $10
All
million.
right. Was this like on,
Pro-
The lottery was up to $10
like
million.
but like on New Year's Day?
It just says they started their 2025 off to a lucky start after winning the top prize of $10 million off a scratch off ticket.
Off a scratch off more than anything. Good
Off a
Lord.
scratch off. That makes it even better.
Yeah. And another big thing this year that I will be interested to see where it proceeds in 2025. Though I will say I do want the trend to end. We're keeping that in 2024. But I'm interested to see where it goes for her. Is 2024 was the year of Haktua.
Oh my gosh.
And people are thinking she's dead. That was
No,
the
like I
last
saw a
thing.
video and she was out touring and everything.
Well, she started a podcast and everything, but I believe, granted, take this with a grain of salt, it was from Twitter, but apparently she was getting invested into one of those other, like, what is it, that was a 2024 thing, meme coin or something.
Oh,
And
it was a cryptocurrency.
yeah, something happened with that, and then people didn't hear from her a while, and they're like, okay, well, she's dead now, because I think she got kind of mixed up into a little bit of a scandal with it, and then yeah, people hadn't heard
So
from her
they
because after. Go ahead.
last I had heard and seen from it, she was getting sued. Like people were filing
Ah,
lawsuits against her.
okay.
Wow.
Was it because of the meme coin, or was it because of something else?
It was because of the meme coin stuff.
Yeah, her podcast, Talk to Her. I mean, milk it for all it's worth, I guess, but we can leave that in 2024. I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
Maud, tell us how you really feel. And I guess we could also say that 2024 was the downfall of Diddy.
And all that baby oil.
But where did it all go?
On the floor.
The world may never know.
I still have not
funny.
watched it yet, but I believe it was Dave Chappelle that I saw a bit by where he was saying, I think it was, if anybody knows differently, correct me, but I believe it was something to do with 50 Cent knew a lot of details of what was going on with all that, and was talking about creating his own like documentary expose thing, and wanted to call it Did He Do It?
That's funny.
I know beginning of 2024, I think it was like January, February. Cat Williams had predicted this.
Yes,
Cat
you're
Williams
right.
did it in
You're
an
right.
interview, and he was just like, yeah, like basically saying, Diddy's not a good person. He's not a good
Mhm.
human being.
And I believe I believe he was on a podcast whenever he was talking about that. There was a lot of stuff he knew about. So,
Yeah, like he called some of it like word for word as they came out, as the allegations came out. Like people were like, "Oh my God, Cat Williams had it word for word."
and I also appreciated the end of 2024 being the and I thought this would be a fun little game for us to try here, that 2024 was a year of the Hear Me Out cakes. And I don't know if
Oh
anybody
my God.
else enjoyed watching those videos as much as I did, but I want to hear you guys hear me out. I feel like the first one that comes to mind for me is Gil from Finding Nemo.
Okay. Willem Dafoe.
We listen and we don't judge.
I mean, this one's gonna
Oh
be a
God.
little uh Peter Dinklage.
Mm-hmm. Harley, how about you?
No content.
I actually don't know what the hear me out thing is.
Okay, so what it was like at least like two friends. For whatever reason they made it a cake, but it was like they're picking people or characters from movies, different stuff like that. And they would have them on like toothpicks or little skewers that they would each take turns sticking on a cake. And it was like, hear me out. But so I guess like
I have to step
who
away for
you
a
have a
second,
crush
okay?
on, you're good. Andy, do you have a hear me out? Okay. Trying to think of another one. Scar from Lion King. I mean, we all love a bad boy.
I'm trying to think of another one. Huh.
What
Trying to think
the
of
I
another one.
think the
Give me a
thing
second.
I think the thing that I thought was best about some of them was like there would be like a group of girls doing it, and one of them would pop up and it would have one of the girls' dads on it. Hear me out, but Emily's dad. So I thought that was pretty
Oh,
great.
hands down, Jason Kelsey.
I'll uh I'll let the comment section have fun with you on that because they know it's, you don't have all the sport people here right now.
I know.
I mean, at one point, they were surprised that I even knew who Travis Kelsey was. So, and another a TikTok trend of 24 that I appreciated was the amount of is somebody going to match my freak. But I do feel like we can keep that in 2024. We need something a little crazier for this year. Also, to double on that is the I'm looking for a man in finance, trust fund, 6'5" blue eyes girl. We can keep that in 2024 too. But who we need to see more of in 2025 is Jewel LeBron, who was the very demure, very mindful girl. We need more of her. We need more of her in 2025. But we'll take a jump over here a little bit. So, what about movies for 2024?
Hmm. I I went and saw one back in July or August. It was the most recent M. Night Shyamalan movie, Trap. Was
Interesting.
very disappointed. Very disappointed.
I mean, to be fair, that's most M. Night Shyamalan movies. Disappointment, but I was looking through and I don't believe that I have actually seen any of these that were out for this year. We had Mufasa, which I don't really feel like we needed. Moana 2 also didn't really feel like we needed, and I really didn't want to see that one because I feel like the first one was pretty cut and dry. Started good, ended good. I mean, unless this one specifically is like more of a backstory on the island and everything, then that's a little bit different. We had Venom, The Last Dance, which I heard really good things about. I really liked the first one, and I did not see There Will Be Carnage, even though Carnage is like my all-time favorite comic book villain. But I did not see that one. I thought it was a tiny bit of a questionable choice to choose Woody Harrelson as Cletus Cassidy. Fit the look a little bit, but it was to me it was just a little off. Sonic 3, heard great things about Sonic 3. Now, is Sonic 3 the one where all the dances come from?
Yes.
Okay, so more of that. We need more Jim Carrey in Sonic. Did we need a Gladiator 2? No, I don't think we did. We were fine. We were entertained. We didn't need to be entertained again.
But
Though
Pedro Pascal was in it.
that would be the only selling point for me. That was really the only selling point for Wonder Woman 84 for me. Then we ended 2024 with A Complete Unknown, which hopefully might be a better option for Timothy Chalamet. It looked good. I'm a little disappointed in whoever chose the role for Johnny Cash in that one. Just didn't fit well with me. We got Wicked.
Wicked was
I've
really
only
good.
I've only seen clips. I did really like the performance, but to me I'm very partial to Kristen Chenoweth as Glinda. So I don't know. I might be a little biased on that one. Nosferatu. Heard great things. Heard absolutely great things. Hopefully, this is a better comeback for Bill Skarsgård after his other flop this year, The Crow, that nobody wanted. Nobody asked for it. Nobody wanted it. I'm a little bit partial to that because I really like Brandon Lee, but that was just He should
It wasn't
apologize. He should
bad.
publicly apologize.
Like, it wasn't bad, but the original was way better.
Yeah, and I mean, I had watched a video the other evening where it was like, how many do you need to look at the other remakes that they tried to do and see how badly those flopped? We didn't need another one. You know, it was a very 50-50 split for whether you actually really liked Bill Skarsgård as Pennywise. So he was already treading on some rough ground there. So now, one that I was really interested in that I don't believe it turned out doing very good, but that's not something usually to steer me away from a movie, because I tend to like a lot of movies that are really bad. But Fly Me to the Moon, very interested in that one. Give me a good movie about them faking the moon landing. Come on, let me have it. A24 pumping out some good ones this year with Maxine to go with X, Pearl, all of that. Another one that I really need to see, Back to Black, little Amy Winehouse. And
That was really
then,
good. You should watch it.
and then we had Dune 2 and the fiasco of the Dune popcorn bucket.
That popcorn bucket was so bad.
It's a little questionable.
But Deadpool and Wolverine recreated it very well.
I did hear good things. And have seen some very good clips from it. Then
It was probably the
Borderlands.
best out of the Deadpool series.
Well, I mean, you got Hugh Jackman in it. I mean, come on.
Exactly.
It's gonna be good. OG Wolverine outfit. Yeah, I mean, they would have had to have tried really hard to make it bad. Then we've got a hot take that I was watching on this one the other day, of Borderlands, and I thought it was very funny. Of the guy who was doing the video was like, yes, because this is what video gamers wanted, to come watch a movie based on their favorite video game, and old women are playing the lead characters. It's like, yeah, but it's Jamie Lee Curtis and Galadriel. Come on. Then we had The Wild Robot. Heard very good things about. So, did everyone see Beetlejuice?
Yes.
What were the
Yes.
thoughts?
It wasn't
I
bad,
loved
but
it.
we didn't really, I don't know. It was okay.
Logan,
Honestly,
thoughts?
it was great to see Mike. It was great to see Michael Keaton come back and play Beetlejuice again. Just because he was made for the role. It was also a very big nostalgia trip because I grew up watching the original Beetlejuice.
I have not seen it yet, but I do love the clip that I keep saying of him playing the guitar and singing to Lydia. I think that's adorable. I love that part. And I feel like possibly one of the biggest disappointments on here, at least for me, Argyle.
Yeah.
I was really looking forward to what that was going to be. I mean, I do really like Bryce Dallas Howard. But I feel like that really had potential, and from what I gathered, it was just a big letdown. But again, that could be when I go watch it and everybody thinks it's terrible, but I love it. That typically tends to be how movies are for me. Another one that I really need to see, Lisa Frankenstein. That looked super cute.
I've seen it. It was really good. I've seen it.
And we had Ghostbusters, Frozen Empire. I hear there are probably thoughts there.
So I watched it after it left theaters. It was on Netflix. It could have been so much better than it was. There were a few things that just felt story lines, plot lines in the movie. And I love Paul Rudd. He's the best part of that movie is Paul Rudd. All
Well,
the side plots
I mean,
I felt weren't very fleshed out.
I mean, to be fair, if we want to go back to first new Ghostbusters, all female Ghostbusters, Chris Hemsworth was the best part of that movie. I didn't hate it. I didn't hate it as much as I think a lot of people did. But he was the best part of it, just playing the dumb blonde secretary. I thought that was great. And then one that I found this evening, looking things up, I will pull back up on my phone here just to read you the description here. So this was an animated Norwegian movie that came out last year, titled Spermageddon. So it was a Norwegian adult computer animated. So just look at the listing here. Norwegian adult computer animated musical sex comedy. Consisting of two plot lines, one focusing on a teenage couple having sex for the first time, and the other of Simon the Seaman and his friends in quest for the egg. And the horrible part of me wishes they would have named it something different, so that we would have had a sausage party incident once again, where people are like, "Oh, this is not. Oh, wow, this is something. This is definitely something."
See, the way you're describing the movie, like plot line, if anyone remembers this movie, it's called Osmosis Jones with Bill Murray.
Mm-hmm.
It reminds me of that, where it's like half real life, half animated, with the animated part taking part inside of uh, Bill Murray's body.
No, I believe this one was fully animated.
Mm.
I think it almost would have been a little bit better had it been something had they taken from Osmosis Jones on that. But yeah, not a good year for movies, nor a good year for TV shows, really, from what I gathered.
Apartment 7A came out last year.
What's
And that's
that
the
one about?
remake of Rosemary's Baby. Like the
Ooh.
before it, Apartment 7A. It was really good too.
Okay.
Oh, Godzilla X Kong came out this year, and it was great. I loved it.
That was good too.
Anything Godzilla. I'm down for anything Godzilla. And I think possibly one of my favorite parts of 2024 was probably Chapel Roan, because she is my wife. So she was probably the best part of 2024. Her finally getting her flowers for all her talent. And something crazy that I don't know if you all have seen any of the videos on. Something else that happened in 2024 over in Glasgow was their attempt at a Willy Wonka walkthrough. Have you all seen the story on that? So I guess with Wonka having just come out, they were trying to do like an immersive experience for kids, creating their own. You'll have to look up the picture of it. It was titled Willy's Chocolate Experience.
Wow.
And it was the saddest looking thing that I have ever seen. They basically had this whole it was a huge rented out space to make this. I don't even know really what you want to call it. This walkthrough experience for kids. And I don't know if they didn't get the funding that they intended or they misused the funds. But there are videos of it on YouTube, Facebook, TikTok. It is horrifying. Because at one point they have somebody dressed up as this weird shadow figure that comes out of nowhere, and it is scaring the children off. And we're all like, where was this in the movies, in the books? It was absolutely terrifying.
I think I saw something where the girl playing an Oompa Loompa had gotten arrested like 2 weeks later for drug possession.
It wouldn't
Wow.
surprise me. It wouldn't surprise me with how shady and crazy this looked. But if you haven't looked at it, I would highly suggest it because it's nutty. And I guess 2024 was a year of a lot of people deciding, hey, we're going to try country music, because we've got Beyonce with Cowboy Carter. We've got Post Malone doing everything country. And then shoot, like last month we get Teddy Swims doing Shania Twain.
Hey, I love Teddy Swims, so
I'm not sure what the. And I thought it was really good. He did a great job. And Shania Twain this year getting her flowers again. She deserves it. I'm glad that
In
Go ahead.
music, can we also mark this the comeback of Billy Ray Cyrus?
Please no. Please no.
He did a he
Nope.
did a cover of "Mama Said Knock You Out" by LL Cool J. It was actually
Wow.
really good.
No, Billy Ray Cyrus can stay in 2024
the 90s.
for all I'm. Yeah,
He needs
he
to
can
go
take
back
his achy
to the
breaky heart
90s.
elsewhere. Yeah. And you know, if we're going music wise, obviously I am not a fan, but I did have to check out part of this. We got some great Drake versus Kendrick Lamar action going on. You know, and there were some things by Drake that I did kind of like, but Kendrick kind of ripped him a new one.
Well, and Eminem's new album that came out in 2024, that was the shit.
Now that's a comeback.
Great.
That's a comeback. That's the
Exactly.
comeback we needed. We will keep Eminem.
The-
They can take Billy Ray Cyrus.
Exactly.
what makes the Kendrick Lamar Drake thing even better? Kendrick Lamar is playing the Super Bowl halftime show this year.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he's performing the halftime show, and everyone's speculating, like, oh, is he going to play that one song where he outright calls him something
A
that's
pedophile.
not nice? Yes. Like,
I
is
hope
he
so.
going to perform that in front of 40 million people? I hope so too.
Please do it. Please do it.
But I agree with you all. The death of Slim Shady was a phenomenal album.
Very, very much
The
so.
title of the album
He
was
was calling-
misleading.
He was calling everybody out in that album.
I also love the trend
As
of
as only
after-
as only Eminem could.
one of my favorite trends from that album is the song Houdini, and it got
Oh, I
people
love
listening
that
to the
song.
Steve Miller Band.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I love the video for it too.
The video was great.
You know, bringing back some OG Slim Shady.
Bringing back Rat Boy.
Mm-hmm. And I think it has been very interesting to see the changes of, like, you know, obviously the new things because it's 2024, but also the things that have like been coming back around. Like we got a Benifer, we got some Benifer back this year for a whole 6 months. You know, they do a movie together, somehow fall in love again, and then decide 6 months later, now we're getting a divorce. We should have left it the way it was the first time. And we you know, we had the last couple of years we had Fiona the hippo. This year we got Mudang. Freaking pygmy hippo. Yes, please. I will take 4 of them.
Yeah.
So I was reading, another one was actually just born in a zoo in Richmond, Virginia.
Like a pygmy?
A pygmy hippo was born in Richmond, Virginia.
That's the best.
I'm gonna try and find his name because his name is also adorable.
And can we look for a minute? Let's just roll on back to how great the Paris Olympics were this year. Of Snoop just
Or even the
Snoop
break
just-
dancing in the Olympics.
Yes, Reagan.
Yikes.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. I mean, you got to give the girl props for doing it.
Well, they have removed breakdancing from the Olympics after that.
I mean, you got to give her a prop. She went and did the thing. I mean, she did it how she did it, but she went and did the thing.
Several people questioned how she got in there, and then it was like her husband was one of the judges.
Yeah.
Oh,
And then
okay.
she officially stated she was retiring from breakdancing after the
After
Olympics.
how embarrassed she was.
Interesting. But Snoop and Flavor Flav being the American ambassadors for the Olympics.
Yes.
Just
Flavor
Snoop over there
Flav.
being all wholesome and I think
and then
I think
And all of Snoop Dogg's recipes that's been coming out in 2024. All over the internet.
He's got he had already had like a clothing line out, but it was something new that I saw the other day because I had bought a pair. It was through Walmart. I'd bought a pair of his sweatpants and they were phenomenal. And then I was looking, I think I was looking for a pair of shoes or something, and it was this whole line of he has specifically went and made a woman's line of I can't even fully remember what it was I was looking up, but I was like, that's Snoop. All right. And I think Flav has just gotten a little senile and is like, he's up there doing that for the Olympics. I'm gonna go do that too. Did you find the hippo?
Another. Yes, it's between two names. They're letting the popular vote go. It's a choice between Poppy or Hammy May. May spelled M-A-E.
I love the name Poppy of calling him like a little fat Poppy, but also Hammy because he's a little hammy boy.
So
I don't know.
Poppy is spelled like poppy seed.
Still.
Like Poppy. Yeah. I'm going with Hammy May.
But,
and one of my favorite things from the Olympics
is my question.
Are they trying to do like the double name like they did with Moo Dang? So Hammy May.
Well, it's a boy, right?
No, it's a female.
Oh, I thought you said it was a male. I was going to say, like, well, then no, I want it to be Hammy David, Hammy Edward,
Hammy Jean.
Yeah, like no, give me something substantial there. Because I was like, why are they naming?
It's a female.
Granted, I know there are some odd names for him, but like also, why are they naming a boy Poppy? Unless that's why they're naming him Poppy, but Poppy for a girl hippo is pretty cute. But then they better just name her Poppy Seed. Or we'll go 3 names, and her name is Poppy Seed Muffin. That's my vote.
So back to the Olympics. For those who are metal fans, the band Gojira performed the opening ceremony of the Olympics, and if you haven't got a chance to actually watch their performance, it was great.
Wow.
There was also subtle references to the video game series Assassin's Creed during the opening ceremony.
That's interesting.
Like the torchbearer wore like a hood and robes like you would see from the Assassin's Creed video games. It was really cool.
Right. Well, I will have you guys pause right there for a minute, and we will be right. And we are back. We have just been discussing some of the weird and crazy things to come out of 2024, things that we hope stay in 2024. And, I would like to hear everybody's opinions on some things that we need to make trends in 2025. What do we need to make happen?
So I mentioned this earlier. Can we please bring back early 2000s fashion?
Well, I'm already feeling pretty good with 2025 with all the music thus far for New Year's that is coming back. So I'm like, okay, so we're bringing back everything T-Pain. Jonas Brothers are coming back. That means we have to bring back Hannah Montana. Can we just bring back everything early 2000s? Like, I'm down for all the early 2000s fashion. Everybody is going to be required to have a sweet pea body spray from Bath and Body Works.
Or cucumber melon.
Yep, cucumber melon.
One thing that can stay in the early 2000s is Axe body spray. That needs to stay as far away as possible.
It depends, and we don't need like 20 different scents. If we can just keep like 3, like the OG 3, that's fine. Now what can stay in the early 2000s is teenage men using it in place of a shower. That can stay there.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like going to school in the early 2000s was like being
If you had
being a male and,
allergies, I'm sorry.
no, like being a male that went to gym class and then people would just like douse themselves in it before they go to their next class. I'm like, dude, take a shower.
And then that mixed with the armpit smell was just ugh.
And I mean, I can't say that at least in women's defense, we did shower, but good Lord, if we did not absolutely bathe in body spray, because God forbid we actually know what perfume was. No, we could have been buying gallons of Bath and Body Works body spray and just dipping our entire bodies in it, because it was just like, okay, we're just gonna spray it all up here and then we're gonna scoot under here real quick and it'll fall all over us. In that, I feel like we need to bring back early 2000s sequin bags, the purses with the giant sequins. Chris, you will be helping with that. And Chris, I need you to email me. But
you know what could stay in 2024 for me? The almost 60 pounds I've lost, that could stay there.
Preach. Yep. Very much agree with that. Stress can stay in 2024. I'm down with that.
Yeah.
You know what has great for 2024 though? 2024 was great to us book talk girlies.
Yes, it was.
Letting us feel seen.
All the smut books that came out.
Mm-hmm.
I actually got to interview, you know, the author who wrote Make Her Bleed?
I don't.
But to be fair, I got to interview her.
To be fair, I have so many. It's possible. That's very cool. What did she have to say?
She's actually really awesome. I've got a couple of her books. One of them she mailed me was like a first edition of her first copy of her book, and it's like really thick. That's how she told. I knew it was a first edition because she told me, and she was so nice. And she's got like 3 books that came out this year, and her books are very, very raunchy. But they're good.
What level on the pepper scale are we talking?
A 6.5 to 7.
Like, is she really good with the details?
Yes, very good.
Take my money. Take my money. If they ain't good with the details, then it ain't worth it. Ain't worth my time.
Exactly.
And what was her name?
Her book's called Make Her Bleed. And then if you look that up, you'll find all of her books.
Noted. But yeah, I just, and granted, it could have just been like how the algorithm was for me, but I was like, I just feel like the book talk girlies are finally getting some props, and everybody is getting down with the smut.
Exactly. Not so much now, but like it was big there for a while.
I'm voting it now. 2025 year of hashtag down with the smutness.
Exactly.
To tell you how popular it was, I read my first ever one. I read I read Fourth Wing, which is like the Empyrean
Mm-hmm.
series.
Mm-hmm.
I loved it. I need to read book 2, and then book 3 actually comes out later this month. So
Well, that is very low on the pepper scale.
I'll send you some lists, Chey. I've
Say
got a
me.
whole list of dirty, really like high up there books.
Well, it's funny. I have the Kindle app on my little tablet that I would bring to work so that I could read. And the guys are sitting there around Christmas, and they're like, I don't know what book to get my wife. She likes that dirty stuff. And I was like, all right, what kind of genre we're talking here? She like vampires. She like werewolves. What she like? She like rich businessmen. She like the mafia type. What kind she want?
It's like what type, what
Yeah.
level of dirty?
Yeah, I guess she likes vampires. Well, hold on a minute. Let's go back here. She like Labyrinth. I got you a book if she like Labyrinth. Oh yeah, she does. She does really. And I was like, all right, I got you here. To make a list. Make a list. I got you 4 books here. You need to get her.
like I didn't realize my coworker, who is a male, was also reading Fourth Wing at the same time I was.
Well, the Hunting
And he's like, "Oh
Adeline
yeah."
series, that one is.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And then there's one with like the Peter Pan. There's a Peter Pan one that is just as good. Oh my gosh.
See, for me, the problem with Fourth Wing, I am the type that like when you can get the apps that have them on your phone, and right off the bat, they're like starting it right out the gate. Where I start Fourth Wing and I'm like, when's everybody gonna start screwing? Come on, this is boring.
Oh, it takes so long.
I know. Well, I
It's like,
started reading it because I was like, okay, well, I've heard good things. It was one of my like screenshots on TikTok that I was like, oh, this girl had really good things to say about it. And I'm reading it and I'm like, come on.
Chey,
This is a good.
Have you read Allison Adventures in Underland?
I have not.
You need to read that one and Allison and the Torrid Tea Party. Tweedledee and Tweedledum are very naughty in Allison.
Oh God. Because
Very
all
naughty.
I'm thinking of is like Tweedledee and Tweedledum from like
No,
Tim Burton.
like the picture that they give for them will make your whole opinion change on them.
will make your whole something.
Yeah, exactly. And then Melt for Us is another good one. I've got a whole like library full of them. Me and my friend we share books back and forth.
Yeah, there is one author who I have 50 million of hers, and they all seem really good. There are shoot, what is her name? I see her stuff out there all the time. But I would highly suggest if you like the little bit of shorter reads that start off super fast, quick, fast, and in a hurry, there's an app called Kiss that's got all of those. Then We Here and Snack Short have a lot too.
Anything by Lauren Blakely is really good.
I'm trying to remember what that the girl's name is. I have like 4 of her books in my Kindle library. I don't know. I'd have to look it up, but whenever like somebody's put like a quick synopsis on TikTok, I'm like, Yep, saving that one for later. Kincaid, her last name is Kincaid. Oh shoot. I'm picturing it in my head, but her last name is Kincaid, and she has quite a lot of books. But yeah, I am generally like that with books in general. If they don't give you a good start to, give you a good push on it, I'm a little like, eh. But especially when it comes to the smut, I'm like, if this is gonna be a slow burn, I don't know. Next.
Yeah.
And we've apparently got some good new movies coming out this year, hopefully. Which this first one I'm hoping is going to be in the same vein of, where we had Love and Honey, Peter Pan's Neverland Nightmare. So I'm interested to see if that's going to be in the vein of like the Disney horror movies. Supposedly there's going to be a Dirty Dancing 2. I don't know how accurate that one is. There was not a picture with it, but that's another one of those where I'm kind of like, do we need one? Do we really need another Dirty Dancing? Don't think we do. We are getting live action How to Train Your Dragon.
Lilo and Stitch.
Oh, I didn't know about that one. Who's playing Lilo?
I don't know, but I've seen the trailer for it and it's really good.
Why do I just feel like more than likely it will be Alan Tudyk voicing Stitch? I hope so.
Please let it be Alan Tudyk.
I hope so, because he does everything. I don't know how to feel about this one yet, but apparently we're supposed to be getting Captain America Brave New World.
The new Superman's coming out. That trailer looks awesome.
And we get Crypto.
Yes.
28 years later. 28 years later.
Can't wait. It's one of my favorite zombie movies of all time.
That is definitely going to be a good one. Apparently we are getting Megan 2.0. I did not see the first one, but I did hear good things. And as much as I do love Jurassic Park, we don't need another Jurassic Park. We're getting Jurassic World Rebirth. We got 20 movies already. We don't need any more. Let's see, what else do we have here? Now this could just be something that's on here. It doesn't necessarily say whether it's true or not. Apparently they're toying with the idea of a Happy Gilmore 2.
No, that one is true.
Oh,
They've
no.
already...
Why?
Real.
Yeah, that's real.
Why? Why do we need another one?
And Jack Black and Paul Rudd's bringing back Anaconda. They're redoing it.
Wait, what?
Yeah, Jack Black and Paul Rudd's doing Anaconda remake.
Like we're talking about like we're talking horror movie Anaconda, right?
No, it's that one, but they're doing it more as a comedy.
Yes, please. If you all have not seen the trailer for this one, Death of a Unicorn.
That one looks awesome.
I want to go see that.
Oh my gosh. We're also
I saw the trailer and I'm like, this.
Yes. Karate Kid Legends. I thought that Snow White already came out, but it shows you how much I pay attention. It has not come out yet. I have seen some videos already on it.
What's bad
Mostly
is with this one with Snow White, they should have made what is her name? The woman who plays Wonder Woman, because she's in it.
Gal Gadot. Mhm.
They make her the evil queen. They should have made her one Snow White, and the woman who's playing Snow White make her the evil queen, because evil queen's supposed to be ugly, and Gal Gadot is not ugly, not in the slightest bit.
Just call them out. Just call them right out, Harley. So I watched the trailer and somebody was like going over all the problems that they had with it. And I was like, I don't even care about the story. I'm watching it for how good Gal Gadot looks as the evil queen. She looks phenomenal. And I don't know how accurate this one is considering Wicked just came out. But apparently there's another Wicked that's called Wicked for Good.
Yeah, they're doing a second part of it, but that's going to be late 2025. I mean, yeah.
So are they doing like the books? Because there's like
Yeah,
an
they're
actual
doing
Wicked
like the
book
books are.
series?
Well, this is said it's
Okay.
the second of a 2-part feature film. So what maybe was the one that just came out part 1, or maybe
Yeah, the
who
first one
knows?
was part 1.
Okay. Then we've got Wolfman.
Can't wait for
We
that.
need a good werewolf movie. The Fantastic Four: First Steps.
Isn't there like a new Final Destination coming out this year too, I think?
Hold on. Let me look here. Well, there's another I Know What You Did Last Summer. Final Destination Bloodlines. Then we've got Den of Thieves 2, Pantera. Another Mission Impossible because they've got to keep
Because we just
Tom
need
Cruise in
another one.
business. They've got to keep giving Tom Cruise jobs. So this is interesting. This is on IMDb that I'm scrolling through here. But for Peter Pan's Neverland Nightmare, it says Wendy Darling strikes out in an attempt to rescue her brother Michael from the clutches of the evil Peter Pan. Along the way, she meets Tinkerbell, who will be seen taking. Wow, okay. Along the way, she meets Tinkerbell, who will be seen taking heroin, believing that it's pixie dust.
Interesting.
Yeah, that's what we needed.
It kind of reminds me of the Neverland story where like the whole Peter Pan is the bad guy and it's the smut one.
Then we've got Lilo and Stitch. Now this one looks interesting. Thunderbolts. Group of supervillains are recruited to go on missions for the government. Can we just call it Suicide Squad?
It's literally Marvel's version of the Suicide Squad from DC. That's all it is.
Okay. This one also should be interesting. I'm wondering. This could be like a potential Bigfoot movie almost. Flight Risk. Pilot transports an air marshal accompanying a fugitive to trial as they cross the Alaskan wilderness. Tensions soar and trust is tested as not everyone on board is who they seem. Interesting. We have Body Bag. Not sure about that one. So this basically this one is called Ballerina, which basically sounds like Black Widow. An assassin trained in
Isn't
the
that
traditions of the Ruska Roma organization sets out to seek revenge after her father's death. So yeah, that's kind of sounds like
that's I
Black
think
Widow
that's
to
the movie
me.
based in the I think that's the movie based in the John Wick universe.
Oh, okay. Then we've got the a Minecraft movie.
Oh boy.
I'll pass. This one is called Sinners.
I think Jack Blackton. No, it's not Jack Black. It's Jason Momoa in the Minecraft movie.
Oh
I
no, it's
might watch
both
it
of them.
then.
Oh, they
All
both
right, then
are.
It's
talked me into it.
it's Jason Momoa and Jack Black.
Yes, please. So for Sinners trying to leave their troubled lives behind, twin brothers return to their hometown to start again, only to discover that an even greater evil is waiting to welcome them back. All right. I believe this is, I don't know if this is going to be like a documentary, or I'm assuming similar to
But
A
did you
Complete
see that the
Unknown.
DC universe cast Jason Momoa as Lobo?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And I think that's perfect because that's his favorite character, and he looks just
Mm-hmm.
like him.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So it looks like we're going to be getting like a Michael Jackson documentary, kind of like A Complete Unknown. It's just called Michael. Let's see. We've got The Gorge, Marty Supreme. This one is called Warfare, and this is actually based on an ex-Navy SEAL's real life experience during the Iraq War. This one seems interesting. This is called Frankenstein. It says Dr. Pretorius tracks down Frankenstein's monster, who is believed to have died in a fire 40 years before, in order to continue the experiments of Dr. Victor Frankenstein.
Interesting.
Okay. So the Avatar movie that M. Night Shyamalan put out. What was that one called? Was that just called Avatar: The Last Airbender?
No, that was just The Last
Okay.
Airbender. It was not great.
Okay, so then when we switch over to other Avatar universe, was the last one that came out The Way of Water?
Yes, The Way of Water.
Okay, good lord, they're making a third one. We don't need it. We don't need it. This is Avatar
Unpopular
Fire and
opinion, I'm actually
Ash.
excited for it. Unpopular opinion, I'm excited for it.
Then we've got Bridget Jones, Mad About the Boy.
Hey, that I am excited for because it shows the very last after she has her kids.
So this is like Bridget Jones' Diary, Bridget Jones.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
I
the
never
very
watched any of
end of
that.
it.
Oh, Glenn, we are so glad that you are getting signal from jail. I'm sorry that you are stuck in an Alabama jail, though. I can't imagine who you're going to find there. You have to see if Wendell can come bail you out. Yeah, Ren Queen, yes, agreed. We do not need any more blue people. Then we've got The Housemaid. So this one should be interesting. The monkey. Now, I believe that this is basically like something similar to Annabelle, but with one of those creepy little clapping monkeys that has the symbols. Yeah.
Yes, it
No,
is.
thank you.
Yeah, you lost me.
Uh,
No thanks.
Then this is a sequel to was Knives Out was the last one called Glass Onion, or was that something different?
No, Glass Onion was the one that came out afterwards
Yeah, that's what it was. Knives
with
Out,
Daniel.
then Glass Onion.
Yeah, because Glass Onion with Daniel Craig in it, I think.
I believe so. So they're making a third one, and it's called Wake Up, Dead Man.
Interesting.
We're
I
getting
actually
another
really
Tron
love
movie.
both of those things. Ooh.
I believe it's pronounced ARES or AIRS. A highly sophisticated program, AIRS, is sent from the digital world into the real world on a dangerous mission. I feel like we might need to pay a little bit of attention to that because that is sounding very AI-esque. We got a Mortal Kombat 2.
Ooh.
Last Breath. A true story that follows seasoned deep sea divers as they battle the raging elements to rescue their crewmate trapped hundreds of feet below the ocean's surface. No, thank you. Then I Know What You Did Last Summer. Henry Danger, the movie. One of Them Days. We've got Companion. Cleaner. F1 follows a Formula One driver who comes out of retirement to mentor and team with a younger driver. Final Destination Bloodlines. Oh, now I hope to God that this has Lindsay Lohan and Jamie Lee Curtis, but we've got Freakier Friday.
It does have both of them in it. They're coming back, and it's supposed to be like a granddaughter involved in this swapping.
Years after Tess and Anna endured an identity crisis, Anna now has a daughter and soon to be stepdaughter. As they navigate the challenges that come when two families merge, Tess and Anna discover that lightning might strike twice.
I'm excited for that.
Yes, please. That was one of my favorite movies growing up. Return to Silent Hill. The Amateur. The Smashing Machine. The story of mixed martial artist and UFC champion Mark Kerr. Star Trek Section 31. Oh, interesting. The Running Man, the futuristic United States of 2025 when the world has become a dystopia. Oh, I wonder if this
A
is the one
remake
that
of
you
the one
were
with Arnold.
the Anaconda, Harley. Would that be the one that you were talking about?
I'm not sure.
We've got Zootopia 2. Oh, The Conjuring Last Rites.
They're doing the bad guys too. Also, that's a cartoon one. I'm looking forward to that with my kids.
The Accountant 2. Alien Wars Judgment Day. Oh gosh, they're making another Naked Gun. Predator Badlands. The Bad Guys 2. Five Nights at Freddy's 2.
That I'm excited for. I'm a huge Matthew Lillard fan.
I need to see I need to see the first one. I wanted to see it just because of him. Oh, Becoming Led Zeppelin. I guess this is just going to be a year of like I was saying, those weird like the Winnie the Pooh Love and Honey. So this one is Popeye the Slayer Man. A curious group of friends sneak into an abandoned spinach canning factory to investigate the legend of the Sailor Man, who is said to haunt the factory and local docks. All right. Black Phone 2. I wanted to see the first one of that. I thought that looked really good. Oh, I believe that this is the first movie, but they're making Chainsaw Man the movie.
Oh, that's a anime. That's actually a really good show.
Oh, they're making a Return of the Living Dead. Taking place 18 months after the events at the Uneeda warehouse in Louisville, Kentucky, a new trioxin 245 leak puts a small Pennsylvania town on the brink of a zombie outbreak during Christmas of 1985. Interesting, because that's one of my favorite movies is Return of the Living Dead. Yeah, Dirty Dancing and Saw like 100. Whatever it's 11, the 11th installment of the Saw film series.
That's another one of those. Did we really need it?
No, we didn't. Bambi the Reckoning. After a mother and son get in a car wreck, they soon become hunted by Bambi, a mutated, grief-stricken deer, on a deadly rampage seeking revenge for the death of his mother.
Wow.
Into the Deep. Modern day pirates on the hunt for sunken drugs kidnap a boat of tourists and force them to dive into shark infested waters to retrieve the contraband. The Strangers, Chapter 2. And again, another one. Did we need it? Halloween Aftermath. I thought the last one was supposed to wrap everything up.
He died in the last movie. Like, why are we still milking this franchise?
I feel like I might have heard something about this now that I'm thinking about it, that they are trying to now pass on the Michael role to somebody else. We've got Last Friday. This is the fourth film in the Friday franchise.
Well, and the original cast is supposed to come back in this one, so that is exciting.
Okay. Again, we got another one. Pinocchio Unstrung. A dark reimagining of Pinocchio, this unsettling tale explores the eerie nature of the iconic puppet, blurring lines between reality and fantasy. And another one, Screamboat. A late-night boat ride turns into a desperate fight for survival in New York City when a mischievous mouse becomes a monstrous reality. Can a motley crew survive a killer creature with a taste for tourists? Who asked for this?
Steamboat, the Mickey Mouse one.
Yeah, Screamboat.
Well, when the rights became available for that, everybody took and went everything with
milking it. Yep.
Because they did video games for it and all kind of it.
Now we're getting a Demon Slayer movie. The SpongeBob movie, Search for SquarePants. Dracula, A Love Tale. Interesting. This is interesting. Atlantis, a musical inspired by Pharrell Williams' childhood in Virginia Beach. Kiss of the Spider Woman. Killer Clown Girls. Oh my gosh. Now, this isn't going to sound completely right whenever I say it. So it is Pooh, as in Winnie the Pooh. Pooniverse, Monsters Assemble. Sister Act 3. We have Bunny Man, who that pretty much just looks like a dude in a leather gimp suit that happens to have bunny ears.
Hey, Chey, I need to hop off because it's getting late here.
Okay. Alrighty.
Have a good night, guys.
Thank you for joining us.
You're welcome. You guys can find me on the Asylum with Harley and Joker on Sunday nights.
Absolutely. Andy, where's Brenda?
I don't know. Let me check.
Okay. Yeah, I guess they are just going to be milking the absolute crap out of what they can for those Disney movies. Now, this one, I'm actually a little bit interested to see what they do, because I'm hoping that they would take a page out of like how crazy things were in 2016. It's clown in a cornfield.
So I didn't know they were making that movie. I've read the books.
Yeah, a fading Midwestern town in which Friendo the clown, a symbol of bygone success, reemerges as a terrifying scourge. Ooh, that should be interesting too. Kraken, marine biologist, researches fish farm. Teenagers die. Odd occurrences suggest gigantic, multi-tentacled creature lurks in deep something.
Brenda's still on her show.
Okay. This one is it's called Kinda. Yeah, these are some crazy ones. Okay, I guess they're coming out with a Witcher movie. Yeah, I don't know. That's I would hopefully they're not gonna continue with all the Disney movies into. But something else, and I feel bad that I almost forgot about it while I was looking stuff up today. But unfortunately, we had quite a few people that passed away in 2024, because I came across a thing about Liam Payne from One Direction, and we had quite a few celebrities that passed away this year. Trying to think here. I'm hoping that I'm pronouncing this right, but we had Olivia Hussey, who, when she was 15, starred in in the 1968 Romeo and Juliet. David Soul, who was Hutch in Starsky and Hutch. Shannon Doherty. Shelley Duvall, that was a rough one. Donald Sutherland. Logan, did you have any?
I had a few actually. One that hit really close. There was two that hit really close to home. James Earl Jones passed away. He was the voice of Darth Vader. He played Mufasa, and he also played. If you guys have ever seen the movie The Sandlot, he played the old man, who had like the beast, that giant dog. Dame Maggie Smith, who played Professor McGonagall, passed away.
I don't want to talk about it.
Yeah. And then Akira Toriyama, the creator of the Dragon Ball manga and anime series, passed away. And I forgot, Carl Weathers passed away.
Mm-hmm.
Played Apollo Creed.
Quincy Jones passed
Field
away.
of Dreams, that's the other movie I'm thinking of. Thank you, Chris.
He produced Michael Jackson's Thrilling Bad. Chris Christopherson.
Oh, I forgot about Chris Christopherson.
Obviously, we just lost Jimmy Carter. I think the worst one for me was between Shelley Duvall and Maggie Smith, because The Shining is one of my favorite movies.
Game show host Chuck
Mine is
Woolery.
definitely...
What was it, Andy?
Oh, I forgot about Chuck.
Chuck Woolery. The game show host.
Mm-hmm. Ian Lavender. He was big with the BBC. Donald Sutherland was really rough too, from watching MASH growing up. And there were a lot of people that did work over with the BBC. Dr. Ruth Westheimer, who was the renowned sex therapist and talk show host. She passed away. Annie Nightingale, who was the first female presenter on the BBC Radio 1 and the station's longest serving DJ. Broadcasting legend Johnny Walker passed away. Yeah, it was a rough year. At least it wasn't as bad as 2016 was in that.
See, the gut punch of 2016 was Carrie Fisher, right before the new year.
Well, and then like I'm hoping that like Jimmy Carter was just the other day. I was gonna say because like the start going into 2016 was Lemmy Kilmister at the end of 2015, and then all went to crap. Trying to remember because that was no see to me it was a hard one to pick between for me Alan Rickman's was especially hard because he passed away on my birthday.
Ooh.
But between Alan Rickman and Gene Wilder, that was tough.
I still think one of the hardest.
Go ahead, Logan.
Oh, this is gonna sound really surprising, for me at least. Betty White, when she passed away in 2021, was rough. Betty White and Carrie Fisher were two really hard.
Here's a movie coming out in 2025. Medea's Destination Wedding.
Oh, geez.
Yes, please. Well, I think the hard part of ending 2016 with losing Carrie Fisher was losing Debbie Reynolds 2 days later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And losing a couple of my favorite authors. Harper Lee passed away, and Ellie Wiesel passed away.
The author that will be a very sad day for me. There's two. R.L. Stine and whenever Stephen King finally kicks the bucket, those two will be extremely hard on me.
He'll come back and haunt us somehow.
Somehow. He'll write another book from beyond the grave called Haunting You.
Well, it'll turn out something like how the Jack Black movie went, and the like books are almost sentient. And you know, we had to lose George Michael on Christmas Day.
Mm.
You know, it's weird. I'm looking at the list here, but I feel like I remember it being a lot longer than. I feel like I remember it being significantly longer than this. Oh, and another one that was rough. Shania Twain. Good Lord. Celine Dion's husband passed away on my birthday.
Damn.
Ooh. I just thought of another one that was rough. Jimmy Buffett.
Well,
oh yeah.
What was crappy about like everything for Celine Dion with like watching the interviews and stuff after, because her husband was like her agent. He did everything for her. Losing Glenn Fry. From the Eagles. That sucked. And we lost the voice of Bugs Bunny and Daffy Duck.
Oh yeah, we did, didn't we?
Joe Alasky.
And another one that we lost too. 2024. The guy that always says, "You've got mail."
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, about a month and a half ago.
Man. And of thinking back to my my love for trashy reality TV, we lost Big Ange in 2016 too. From Mob Wives. You might not know her face, but you know that voice. Oh, yeah, I forgot about Nancy Reagan. George Martin, who was producer for the Beatles. Frank Sinatra Jr. I was gonna say, I knew that there had to have been more here because I remember how it was just one thing after another.
Did Matthew Perry die in 24 or did he die in 23?
That's a good question. In October of 23.
Okay. I
Because
was like, I didn't know if he was
some
like
of the
right on the
stuff
cusp of 24.
some of the stuff I was like, well, that happened like year before last. I'm like, no, shoot, that was stuff from last year. Good Lord. And in 2016 too, Merle Haggard.
Mm-hmm.
And Doris Roberts from Everybody Loves Raymond.
And then
China. We lost China.
yeah, we did. And then I don't know if it was 2016 or it was a couple years ago. Freddie Prinze Sr. died.
Really?
Yeah, he died. Was it 20?
And this one, I'm just finding out from just looking at this, but I'm assuming the last name is pronounced Was, but it's Les Was, who is 94. And he was the advertising legend behind the Mr. Softy jingle heard in hundreds of ice cream trucks for more than half a century.
Oh, I'm sorry, it was not Freddie Prinze Sr. It was Jerry Stiller. Ben Stiller's
Oh, so,
dad. He died in 2020. Damn, he died 4 years ago.
oh, I forgot about Anton Yelchin,
Who
who
is that?
was he was playing Scotty in the newer Star Trek. Or no, it was not Scotty. He was playing best known for playing Chekhov in the new Star Trek films.
He wasn't that old, was he?
No, he was 27.
Wow.
Yeah, just the list just keeps on. And it's weird. I thought that L.A. Weisel was a lot older than he was. Yeah, just Miss Cleo. Miss Cleo passed away. The Jamaican psychic. Lou Pearlman. He was the boy band mogul who launched the hit groups Backstreet Boys and NSYNC. Though apparently he was later sentenced to prison for a $300 million Ponzi and bank fraud scheme, but launched the Backstreet Boys and NSYNC. Yeah, that's some crazy stuff. But fingers crossed that we go into this year a lot better. And some weird little things that I wasn't noticing until like the end of last year that people were getting really into as everybody was discovering crumble cookies for some reason.
Yeah, like my cousin actually got a job there after she graduated high school last year.
I mean, we had just recently got one down home, but I was like, wow, how is everybody just now discovering crumble cookies?
Like when I was working at the hotel back in 20, left there in like end of 2023, like end of the summer in 23. Mortgage had just got one like April.
And this also wasn't something that I found out about until like either end of December or just a couple days ago, that apparently there was a really big Timothy Chalamet lookalike contest. Like, why? Why did we need that? That can stay in 2024. We've got one. That's all we need. That's all we need. But, ladies and gentlemen, we are wrapping up hour 2 of the show here. So if you want to stick around for a little bonus time with us, we will be right back. And we are back now for our 11 o'clock hour, which means I can say fuck. So I am happy. Fucking shit. I am not going into 2025 being very demure, very mindful. So fuck.
Oh, holy shit.
And I hope the Eras tour is over. I hope that's over.
I think
I'm tired.
it concluded.
I'm tired of seeing stuff about Taylor Taylor Swift all the time. I don't mind her. I don't mind her at all. I grew up with country Taylor Swift, but can it just be please? Please and thank you. We are good. Bring Travis Kelsey on one of your other tours, or you go do sports with him. That's y'all go do your thing.
Oh no, he's. I just have a funny feeling he's retiring after this year anyway. So
Why is that?
he would be smart too. He's made way too much money. He owns several different other like sports teams. Like him and Patrick Mahomes are the co-owner of an F1 team, and they also own a women's soccer team. They also own part of the Kansas City Royals baseball team. So like, dude, you can retire, take your money, and be done.
Well, yeah. Take your money before something stupid happens and you get hurt, and then you have to do it while you can.
It's like, plus your girlfriend makes billions of dollars.
You know, I think if memory serves me correctly, which who knows, but it was this year that the Chiefs were in the Super Bowl, right?
So yes, they have the opportunity to do one thing a team has never done in the NFL. They have the opportunity to three-peat this year, which I pray to God does not happen.
No, so this 2024 was the year of everybody thinking that he was going to propose at the Super Bowl. And it didn't
To
happen.
tell you how much people were legitimately betting on it. Like they were placing parlays and bets to see if he did it.
Oh, I'm glad that, they've got the money and time that they can do that.
Yeah.
And Justin getting his DWI this year.
Justin
Timberlake getting his DWI this
Oh,
year.
I forgot about that. I'm trying to think, what other notable thing? I mean, other than the whole Diddy situation. Well,
The whole with the Diddy situation of the diddler becoming the meme of the year pretty much.
one of my favorite things about that whole case is people just like, where is he storing the baby oil? Like, did he just have a closet in his house dedicated? So he's just
really big
dedicated to
closet.
baby oil.
Probably.
Or did you just like hide it underneath the bathroom sink?
Diablo, he is from what I've gathered in a jail somewhere in Alabama. So I booted his ass out for the night, and here we are. I do hear he's getting great reception though, so they may have given him alcohol. It's entirely possible. I still really wish I feel like the title, The Downfall of Diddy, was good, but I would have loved for them to add just that little bit to Diddy Do It. That would have been great.
Another thing with that case, Jay-Z got roped into this
Oh, there were so many
because
people.
Jay-Z got accused of like committing like sexual
Mhm.
assault with Diddy.
Mhm.
I was like, oh boy.
Yeah, and there were like clips going back couple of years. Like I think it was like Diddy on Jay Leno, and it was rough. Rough
It's like
watching it in hindsight.
there were a bunch of signs everywhere pointing to what these actually were.
Well, I
Oh, I
mean,
forgot
it
notable
was
death. O.J. Simpson died.
it's very accurate. He did.
So I forgot about that.
Yeah, and apparently he was holding on to some NDAs right before he passed away too. He was handing them out, so makes you wonder. And then if anybody like missed out on rugby player Alona Mar on Dancing with the Stars, go frickin' watch it. I mean, that she is a beast of a woman already, but I don't recall what her partner on there's name was, but she was whipping him around like he wasn't nothing. She was owning it all. Highly impressive. Very highly impressive. Because it's pretty well known on there for athletes to be on there. They're usually very bad. I don't know when the last time they had a female athlete on there, but she was making her partner her bitch. Because especially whenever there was one that she did, I believe it was like right at the finals to Unholy by Sam Smith, and there are two of them there dancing with her, and she's putting them to shame. Even in like her dancing heels weren't very tall, but she towers over him already, and she was just whipping him around like it wasn't nobody's business. Trying to think what other oh, a great trend that I absolutely loved for 2024, and I don't even know if you can necessarily call it a trend, but it was being shared around so much. Was the Domingo sketch from SNL.
I'm tired.
Well, we are glad to see you.
I was trying to get in and I checked to see if you guys were still going. It still said live. I looked and I seen you guys on there and I'm like, oh, okay, so they're still live. So I tried the link that you sent me and it wouldn't go through. And I'm like, what happened?
For whatever reason, the first bit there, it wasn't working for Harley either. I had to email it to her, so.
Oh, nice. Well, I had a show today at 2. Ran that for a few hours. Then I got time to eat something, brush my damn hair. See, and I didn't have time to do that before I did my first show. I just threw it up. I was like, shit. My alarm didn't go off. So then I had my show at 8.
You've had a busy
I'm
day.
like, and I have one tomorrow. So I did one yesterday, 2 today, 1 tomorrow. So I am all showed out until next weekend. I am done.
Don't blame you one bit.
Fork in me, I have a headache.
You can here you go. There you go.
You know what is that? What are we drinking?
Don't you just take it. Just take it. Just trust me, it's fine.
It's okay. Mm, I'm just saying. And then I don't know what happened, but I uploaded my first video, went to upload it to, are you still talking to Chris in the chat?
I have been trying to get a hold of him, and this is the only way I know how.
I just,
You do what you got to do, okay? I think unintentionally we saved the best part for last, and it's even better now that Brenda's here to talk about it. For all the crazy stuff that has happened in 2024. Can we talk about aliens for a minute?
sure. What do you want to know about aliens?
Well, it just our we have been talking about the different trends and crazy things going on in 2024, and it just dawned on me that we hadn't even delved into, okay, well, we've got, everybody's just accepting now that, okay, there's aliens fighting the drones that may or may not be ours, and we're hearing sounds, seeing lights, but it's fine.
Okay, the drones, number one, they're ours. Don't listen to anything that they fucking say. They are ours. If they were not ours, our military would be all over them like flies on stink. Okay, those are ours. Now, there's two types of drones. There's the ones with the big red and blue lights that everybody can see. Above those, there are bigger ones, and they are the drones that look like the planes. Those are going to stay blacked out so you can't see them. Now, those are up there because they're obviously looking for nuclear bullshit. Now,
that they may or may not have lost.
They've been placed places, and we have certain people that are looking for them, because I think that that's going to be our other PSYOP before the 20th of January. So,
Fair.
Now the orbs. Let me explain these orbs to you guys. The orbs are not of our nature. There was pictures that Steve had taken out at Susie's ranch back in April. And he took them of the stars and the moon and, all around her house. When he got home, he's got an excellent camera because he's into photography. When he got home, he decided to blow those up and blow them up and blow them up. And he brought them to me and Susie, and we were looking at them. Inside the orbs, there are what you can see, black boxes. In the black boxes, there are beings, there are things that are moving. Those are what's in these orbs. Now, I can give you two case scenarios of these. They are either, number one, our fallen angels from biblical time that came down that were locked away, which is why in the Bible it says the stars from the skies will fall at the end. Okay, there's your biblical aspect of it. Or
we're talking like end times now.
Well, I don't want to say end times because, see, the thing of it is the Roman Catholics are the ones who changed the Bibles to be able to fit their narrative. And we're in that Bible series.
Gotcha.
Which is one of the reasons why when I used to go to Catholic school, they used to tell us, do not get into Revelations. You're not allowed to crack that book open. You can't read it. In the research I've done, I think that it's backwards. I think that Revelations is happening now. And the end is going to summon the beginning. So I think it's backwards. And I think that one of the reasons why I spent so much money getting the Ethiopian Bible, spent 2 months getting the this one right here. 2 months, $80, and I was put on a list. The Geneva Bible.
What is it?
It's a Geneva Bible. Has everything in it that was taken out of the original Bible when King James started rewriting it and when the Catholics took it over. And I was put on a list when I got this. It's a no-no list. So I'm watched
And
very
I
carefully.
think you're on quite a bit of no lists.
I probably am. And I got this one in the Ethiopian Bible, which the Ethiopian Bible has 88 books, opposed to the Bible that the Roman Catholics took over that only have 60 some odd books in them. Because it's everything, the book of Enoch and all that was taken out. So there are things in these Bibles that they don't want people to know. So they put you on a list on them. And it took me 2 months to get this one. But so that is the biblical aspect of these orbs. Or we can go alien-like, which kind of combined. Because there are things on this earth that walk around us that we don't even have a clue. Then they've been here. They've been here. The reptilians that I seen down in Area 51 with my uncle and with my dad, they have been here for about 6,200 years, something to that aspect. They've been here. We came here. They've been here. This actually is not our planet. It is theirs. They've been here. They walk around us. People don't see them. They have ways of making themselves look human. Of course, I can't be around them because I can smell them. Because they smell like horrible garbage, sulfur garbage. And then there are other things. So are these orbs an alien race? I don't think that they're a race. I think there's several. So, and people are going to have to start getting more accepting, which they do these things in the sky, like the drones. At first, they were going to do these drones and freak people out. Oh my God, it's aliens. No. But all I can say is everybody really needs to get used to it. Where do I email you? I said, Chris, answer her, damn it.
No, I keep putting my email and it won't let me.
It won't let you put your email?
No, I've tried putting it twice and it won't. It keeps removing it.
Are you doing it from your phone?
Yeah.
Hang on. Dun, 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 dun. But are there aliens? Chey, yes, there are aliens. And what the fuck? Just off of there. There we go. They've been here. It is no big deal. Our governments all knew about them. There we go. Everybody knew about them. Why are we still live? It is no big deal. Our governments all knew about them. We're still live, honey. Everybody knew about them.
Yes, I know we are.
Oh. It is no big deal. Our governments all knew about it. We're still live, honey. Everybody knew about them. Yes, I know we are. What's your email? Oh, hang on. Let me turn that down.
There. It went on there now.
Oh, did it? Okay. I was going to put it in for you. Oh, that's funny. I did not know we were still live. But anyways, yeah. So. But
now, what I thought has been, really interesting here of late with, all of that going on. There has been several different we've got several different articles of, just, I'm sure this has been going on more than just the last couple months, but it's become a lot more in your face in the last couple months.
Yeah.
So Microsoft working on, we can get into another dimension. There was another one that I read of, I can't even quote it because I'll sound stupid because it's wrong. But it was basically in them looking into going into like their study into this potential other dimension because of how quickly
Different dimensions.
whatever the how quickly whatever this is that they're working with that they found, oh, we can tap into another dimension, um of, oh, these atoms and particles are working differently, because they're not working how they typically should, and they are reacting different than they should. And they're just putting it all out there like, well, you guys know about everything else now, it's fine.
Okay, so first of all, there are other dimensions. We have veils. Um, you've got to be, I don't want to say special, but there's a thing that we have in our head called a pineal gland. And that gland is a God-given gland. We all have got God-given abilities. And that is like me, like how I can see somebody when they pass away. They can talk to me and ask me what happened. Are they dead? Where do I go? What do I do? That is part of a sense that is given to you. What closes that gland on everybody is like when your children are little and they say they're talking to somebody that you don't see and you call it an imaginary friend and you make them stop doing that, it starts to close that. Fluoride. Fluoride is something that should have never been put into toothpaste. Fluoride is lethal. Fluoride crystallizes that. That's why you hear a lot of people nowadays talking about detoxing.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's stuff they put in our food, in our air, in our drinks, all that. And it's a real thing. Now,
Mm-hmm.
the stuff that they're talking about, and you've got to be really careful and use discernment with it because they are talking about it like it's no big deal because they've had the technology for decades.
Mm-hmm.
But they keep the American people and, well, other people around the world.
They think that they
Yes.
are keeping us in the dark.
Right. So they like to keep us in the dark. But there are too many now. This is not the first time this has happened, Chey.
Mm-mm.
Our world has gone through resets so many times. That's why you'll see the real old photographs, black and whites of people riding around on these like hover scooters. Do you guys think that they just made that stuff then? No,
No, of course
they
not.
adopted it. I'm getting ready to, Steve and I are putting together a show from the old world fairs because it has a lot to do with those. The buildings. Look at all the old ancient buildings. How'd they build that stuff without power tools? We've been here,
The
we've done this.
pyramids.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, pyramids can be explained because back in those days, they had things called the Nephilim, which were giants. So that's how those would have ended up getting help built and extraterrestrial. You ever noticed how, like in the old Egyptian walls, they show you like spaceships and stuff beaming down from the sky? Do you think that they just dreamed that? Nah. No.
No, I mean, like you and I are on the same page of that. I just find it interesting that they're, just kind of letting a bit more than they typically would, if that's the right way to put it, if that makes sense.
Back when Eisenhower was president, he made a treaty with the extraterrestrial race. And that treaty is up this year. So they got to start getting people used to it because they can't
Now-
stop what's going to happen.
now 2025 or
2025. So yeah, so they cannot stop it from happening unless anybody else wants to stick their neck out and make a deal. But there's too many people that know now. Now I will tell you, I'm not going to say that every alien race is bad, but I'm going to tell you there's more bad than good. So you have got to be extremely careful. Reptilians, you stay the hell away from, and I don't care how good they think you are. We are on their top of their food chain. We are their main meal. They eat us. That is where all these children disappear to every year. That's where a lot of people who disappear and nobody can ever find anybody and they vanish like poof, puff of smoke. That doesn't happen. There's a reason for this. So
as I think would be a good phrasing for it, this has all happened before.
absolutely. It has. And then you've got your, what they call the blonde race, which is, I don't remember what they call them, but they look more human than anything, and they're blonde, crystal blue eyes. You've got them. They're not the oldest ones on this planet, but they were here before the Greys. Now the Greys can be short, little, and look just like what you see when people show you the big head with the bulbous eyes, or they can be 6, 7, 8 feet tall and look the same. And now all of these can cloak to look like humans. All of them can. They'll tap into your brain. It's how they like to talk to you, but you gotta be careful with that. Because like my guest said tonight, your brain is your most sacred place. You got to be careful who's tapping in it. But I have to be extremely careful if I run across reptilians, and I've ran across them growing up through my life. And like I said, the reason why is because even in their human form, I can smell them. And they know it because they are telepathic. And usually when I spot one in the store and I smell it, I'll glance back and they'll be looking at me, staring at me the whole way while they're talking. And then miraculously, they will be everywhere I am in that store. Everywhere. Till I leave. They usually won't buy a whole lot at the grocery store except for raw meat. That's how they survive. So I've seen that. Carts full of just beef, chicken, beef. More beef than anything. And nothing, no sides. It's kind of weird, but to each their own. Maybe there's people that grocery shop like that. I don't know. But they smell bad. And there's no, it's almost like if you've ever smelt the smell of death, how you never forget what that smells like. And I've smelt that too plenty of times. And it's kind of on the same line, but it's more potent. It's a lot worse. But yeah, they're here. They're here. They're going to be here. They've been here. They remain here.
So get used to it, 2025, because they're
they
ain't going away.
It's about the size of it. And you know, it's funny because there has been so many people for so many years, even me growing up as a small kid, so many years I've often wondered, why don't they ever talk about these things? Because when I first seen one when I was 5, I wasn't afraid of it. But my question was to my dad is, why did they smell so bad? And my dad said, well, they live underground. And me being 5, I said to him, they don't have showers underground? I was more worried about the way it smelled and why it smelled so bad than I cared about the fact that, wow, that thing looks really weird, you know?
And it lives underground. You're just, no, as a kid, you're just like, But don't they have access to showers?
No, is there no water down here? I mean, really?
I mean, we had some extra soap.
I know. That's what I'm saying.
Can
Can
we
we take them to
share?
our house and get a bath? Poor thing.
Because I mean, it's a bit much for me. I can imagine for all of them down there. I mean, maybe they get
Oh
used
my
to it,
God.
but
Yeah, but they're not only there. They've got them, and they live in very warm climate. Of course, they're reptiles. They like heat. Under Antarctica, there are caverns under there that are so hot that humans cannot survive down there. And they have colonies that live under there. That's why we're not allowed there. And they think we're stupid. So it doesn't quite work that way either. So, yeah. It's a very interesting thing that's happening. And what is going on right now is going to get a little worse before it even thinks about getting better. Will I be here when it gets better? I don't know. My temper, I'd probably just piss off the wrong person. But, I mean, but it's going to get worse before it gets better. People need to hang on to their butts because, yeah, it's going to be something.
now next thing I have to look into, and it was something that Glenn had brought up. Because I don't know if it has already happened or if it's about to happen, but whatever portals, whatever the Pope was fucking around with,
The doors he was
I gotta
opening.
know. I gotta know some shit about that.
Well, if you check into biblical stuff, first look. If you look down there, there is Peter's tomb. There's apostle tombs down there. Now, everybody likes to say Satan's tomb. Satan, it's not a tomb. Satan's actually in a prison. But the Catholic religion made all different religions. They made them all. Buddha, Christian, everything. They did it to divide us. That's where they started division. But the biggest religion that there is in this world right now as it stands is Satanism. And the Catholic popes are a part of that. I want you to look into the inside of where the Pope preaches. It is called Snake Hall. And if you look at it from afar, it has the front of the snake's mouth. It has the teeth. The eyes are on the side, which are windows that are depicted outside. And it looks like the head of a snake. And when the Pope preaches, he is standing in the snake's mouth. It is said, and I don't know yet, I've heard things, I've read things on it, but it is said that underneath, because we all know, underneath the, now I know what the heck it is. I'm so brain fried.
The Vatican?
Yes. Underneath the Vatican, there are many levels. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
There are things kept underneath there, gold kept underneath there, artifacts, a lot of the books of the Bibles that were taken out, a lot of ancient things. So underneath there, they also keep these prophet tombs, supposedly. I wouldn't keep them there because the Vatican's been bad since God knows when. But underneath there, they have a crypt of supposed to be Satan. Well, the number one thing I find wrong with that is Satan roams this earth. This has been his earth. This earth was, he took this earth over many of millions of years ago. So why would he be kept underneath there? What are they keeping his bones? Sorry, Satan's in everything that walks around. It's in our movie industry. It's in our music industry. It has to do
Oh,
with
it's
this.
everywhere.
That's your minions. So what was the Pope opening? There is a scripture in one of the Bibles, and I got to remember which one it is. That Jesus changed a few things, and they didn't catch it. So supposedly, what the Pope thinks that he was opening that is bad to set havoc on this earth, he was actually releasing vengeance.
Mm.
Vengeance would be our apostles that are down there. Peter.
Well, and how things can be, how things have been interpreted and misinterpreted that could have meant a number of things depending
Right.
on how Catholicism took it.
Right. So what was he trying to do? Well, I think he was trying to do things for evil. Honestly, I do. I think that they have been infiltrated so bad that everything that they
So,
do.
just to clarify for my own brain, you think the Pope was trying to do something for bad?
Yes, yes, yes. They all do for
That's
bad.
how I took it too.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, if he thought that he was going to reign a
Well,
thousand years of, huh?
he picked some very specific dates was part of what threw me off.
Well, I'll give you a few more dates. Okay, first of all, what does everybody celebrate Christmas for? What is Christmas about?
Birth of Jesus. But they don't know when Jesus was born.
Jesus
And
was
I
born.
actually did the research on this. The
Mhm.
specific day of the 25th was picked by the Pope.
Yes, it was. Jesus was born the first day of spring. So that could be because we are supposed to be, our original calendar was 13 months of 28 days, which if you do the math on it and do 23,000 and you go back, we are actually only in the year 2012. Okay. Jesus was born the first day of spring. That's the only reason why the shepherds were out. There was lambs being born.
Mhm.
New Year's,
That
and
makes
you'll
sense.
see it on me every now and then if you're on my Facebook. The 1st of April, I always post Happy New Year's, because the new year is new beginning, which is spring.
Mhm.
Everything the Catholic religion didn't change. They did it to mock God. Okay, the one-eye symbol. You know why they do that? You know why you see pictures of all of these celebrities covering an eye or doing something with an eye or having a hair over an eye? They do that to mock Odin. Because Odin went to God and said, I need to save my son's life. Please give me the wisdom to find out how I can do this. He gave his eye for wisdom. They do that to mock Odin. Okay?
Hmm.
They do a lot of things. There was a building that was bought by somebody who just got out of jail, or that Trump pardoned before he got out in 2020 or in 2020. His son had bought a building, and that building sits at 666. That's the address of the street that it sits on.
Mhm.
It had 13 floors in that building. The building was destroyed, and they didn't put the 13th floor back in it. And you notice that a lot of places that are high-rise buildings, it'll go 12, 14. They leave out the 13th floor. Always.
Can't
Do you know why?
can't say that I've paid attention to that, but I have not been in that many buildings that large.
Yeah. The number 13 is one of the signs of Satan.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of places remove the 13th floor because they also believe that the 13th floor, if there's a 13th floor in a building, that is where a portal is at. You can find portals in lots of different places. They're actually all around you. You could go out hunting and be wandering around the woods and you can come across one and not know that that's what it is because it cloaks. The only way you know is if you throw something at it and it goes in it and you're like, whoa.
Or you happen to walk into
Step
it.
on it. Yeah. Which you should be able to, like, if you walk up on a portal, even being just an average, everyday, blissful person, you should be able to feel really strange when you walk up to a portal because the energies that it lets off is enough to make anybody step back and go, whoa, I feel weird. So you would think that they would maybe not know what it is, but they would think that there was something wrong with that area.
Yeah.
So
Read a book on a little something about that.
yeah, they've been here too. People that use Ouija boards. Now Ouija boards.
Yeah, I don't. Nope.
Ouija boards.
I don't fuck with that.
Yeah, they open dimensions. They allow things to get in. Now you can get rid of those things and you can close it. But a lot of people who play with Ouija boards don't know how. They do not know how to close a Ouija board and put everything back in it. And that's how trouble gets started.
Mm-hmm. That's why I don't be why I don't be fucking with that.
Andy,
Bobby, go to bed.
Look at what Bobby did. Bobby said that your body's in a portal. Tell him to suck your portal. I just read Andy's mind, Bobby. You said he's got a portal for you to suck. But yeah, I mean, I'm kind of surprised Bobby didn't come in here to talk to you guys with some of this stuff either. He knows.
He got home from the
Bigfoot thingy.
No, but the premiere.
Oh.
He was really tired.
Oh. I'm patting you, Bobby. It's okay.
Clearly, more important things to do than be here.
He's debating a sandwich. Shit. Well, you tell Mrs. Dizzle get in there and make you a sandwich. Lots of portals. Yeah.
Yeah, was kind of referencing a little bit of that.
A little bit of that. That's how
that
Bigfoot,
would be the book.
Yeah, that's how Bigfoot takes off. That's why you can see it. You see videos where people say, well, they see Bigfoot and all of a sudden it's gone when it goes by a tree because they go into trees. They go into portals. I have a guy that comes on my show and I go over and watch his, and he's a very spiritual person. He can feel a lot of things when they're around him. So he'll go on nature walks and he'll take out his camera and he'll just sit and he'll hold it and he'll talk and he'll be panning around and he won't pay no attention to anything that's around him at all. Nothing. And he'll go home and he'll download the video he just took and he'll slow it all down. He finds amazing stuff that's following him around. And we
Wow.
can see it when he slows it down and brings it up on the videos, and we're like, oh crap, look at that shit. So yeah,
You didn't see that?
well, he feels it, so he doesn't bother to look.
Yeah.
He just knows it's there. And then he was doing a live one night, and we're all just sitting there watching him. He's talking, and all of a sudden, I seen the room behind him get a little dark. And then all of a sudden, in front of him, this dark shadow just goes in front of him, and all of a sudden, he does this. And he said, "Did y'all see that?" And we seen it when it happened. Matter of fact, he
Wow.
showed that on my show the other night when he came on. I was like, "Put that video up, put the video up." And we showed it to Susie. She was like, "Whoa." So yeah,
Wow.
I said, "Did you clean your house after that?" And he said, "Oh yes." He said, "I had to." I was like, "Cause that didn't look friendly." It was a little dark.
Yeah. Just a smidge. So it'll be interesting to see what comes about of everything this year. Apparently they're now AI is now demanding to be worshipped, and they are now creating AI churches.
They need to take AI out to a really big lake and just throw them all in it. And they need to stick it up to a battery cable and blow it. They need to stop. AI can be good for some things, but if you start giving it control of things, it's going to figure it out. And that's the last thing we want. Even, the powers to be, they think, oh, we can get rid of people and we can have AI do all of their manual work for us. Yeah, till AI
Yeah,
figures it
until
out and turn around
I
and
was gonna
say,
say
I ain't
until
your
AI
bitch.
is like
Yeah, I ain't your
it's like,
bitch.
oh wait a minute. Yeah. Like,
Rub your own damn feet.
hold the fuck up, Bezos.
That's right. That's right. Go rub your own damn feet. What the hell do I look like? Yeah. I mean, but people that are doing nefarious things don't think that far ahead. They don't get it. Okay. You want to get rid of people that actually make you rich to put in AI that you spend billions of dollars to build so you don't have to pay them. But yet you make it so they can think. And you don't think you're going to get a backlash out of that? Right. Somebody done screwed up. So I said
Well,
they
I
just
mean,
need to kick everybody out of the government, put them all in the street, and tell them all they're fired. Because you know what? I'm sorry. I can put a monkey in their place and probably run this place with a hell of a lot more sense. Because it's ridiculous. You know?
well, it's like when when it starts rising up and it won't even listen to you, then maybe you'll
Like I said,
listen a little bit.
right now, as it stands, somebody needs to promise them the biggest oil job they'll ever get. Take them out there to the water and just dump them in the frickin' ocean and just let them go.
Oops.
Yeah.
Oops.
Sorry. We're going to play this neat game called Walk the Plank. God. Well, hello, Salty Dog. Nice of you to join us.
He's gotta come in right at the fun point.
Yeah.
Now I have very interesting the more that I've seen the past couple months. Obviously we all know it's out there, but just that they're putting it so much more out there. And I'll just be interested to see going into, say, by the end of 2025, what all they're trying to normalize.
Well, people want to, okay, because we've had history repeat itself so many times throughout the decades and throughout the years for so long. I've heard it said that we have to stop history from repeating itself. Well, the only way to stop history from repeating itself is to tear it down. Bring it down, let it fall. It all has to fall. If you do not tear it down, take it down, our banking systems, all that other stuff, all you're doing is putting fresh paint over the same old turd. Okay? That's all you're doing. In order to fix it and make it right, it has to be eliminated, period. So I do see things getting worse. And the only thing I can say is keep yourself protected. Keep your head.
Protected.
If they tell you, oh, move here, we can protect you all in large groups, give them that. Don't trust anybody that says I'm here from the government and we're here to help. Tell them to help themselves to kissing your ass, because that's about the way it needs to work. And I didn't even ask.
No, I know what happened to those. I know what happened to those people that saw the Mothman. Nah, you get the fuck off my front porch.
That's right. Bye. Bye, Felicia. So, I mean, it's going to be sticky. I mean, seriously. Dennis asked me tonight, the way things are in the world today, you've just got to be careful where you go. He tries to tell all the female friends that he has to make sure that they're packing when they leave the house. And I looked, and he goes, and Brenda, I said, you ain't got to tell me twice. I said, I'm loaded every time I walk out of this house. I am locked and loaded, if not with one, then two or three. So I am not one you have to worry about.
And you got Putin, so you're good.
Oh, my poor little Pootie. He's sleeping right now. He's so content. But yeah, all he does is he just has a big mouth and lets me know there's something wrong. And I keep telling him, shut up. I'm trying to hide. You're giving us away. I'm just going to mail him to Andy.
Tell me through a coded message later, not right now.
Right. Tap your toenails 3 times on my face. You'll be okay. They're going to go get their baths and their hair did on Tuesday. I usually take them today, but I had so much going on, I just couldn't. And she was kind of busy, so so she told me just to bring him Tuesday, and I said okay. Get him his bath. He's itchy right now because his hair doesn't know what it wants to do. He wants a winter coat, but yet it's Texas, 65 degrees outside right now.
Well, you can take our between 15 degrees if you want.
Well, now starting tomorrow night, it's going to be 25. Let's see, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday night, it's going to be like 25. It's going to be the low, so our highs are only going to be in like the 50s maybe. It's wintertime. I love it when I hear people say climate change. I'm like, yeah, climate changes all year long.
Every fucking day.
That's what happens. Oh, it's so hot in Texas right now. It's 95. I'm like, dude, I lived in Arizona where it was 130 during the day in the summertime, okay? Wintertime, at night, we walked around in shorts and flip-flops. Get out of here. 95, hot. No, see, this is what you do when it's really hot outside during the day. You keep your happy ass inside where there's air conditioning. There you go. Duh.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are gonna start hippity hopping right out of here for tonight.
Uh-oh.
Thank you all for joining us, and Bobby is just now realizing that we live in a simulation.
Hey, Bobby. We do have dinner. We have other, realms. Okay. You see him every time you
Thank-
drink and get drunk.
Yep. He visits them frequently.
Yes, yes, yes.
Well, thank you, everybody. Make sure you like, follow, share, and subscribe. And we will see you next week.
Bobby, Mrs. Dizzle's hooting on you with a Bigfoot.